All right. So we're going to start Unit 3. This is our last unit before final exams because we take the test over it December 7th. That is 1 week before final exam starts. So we'll take the test over this unit, and then we'll have a week to prepare for finals. Okay? We're going to do two things today. We're going to start off with Nana's chocolate milk. And then you guys are going to work in small groups, either partners or small groups of 3. You do not want to do it on your own, I promise you. This will finish up tomorrow. So we'll start it today, and then tomorrow you will have the opportunity to meet with anybody else that had your same problem and check each other's work, and then we'll present those answers. Okay? So before we get into the Nana's chocolate milk, have you guys ever used double number lines before?
No. Can you show it?
Absolutely. A double number line is a way of making sure that you keep things in the right mixture. So if you're going to make a recipe, let me think about how to talk about this. So I've got a recipe, and I'm worried about two different things because I'm running low on eggs and flour, and I want to make sure that I have enough, right? And in my chocolate chip cookie recipe, it calls for 1.5 cups of flour and 3 eggs. I want to make more than just one batch, though, because one batch I'll have gone by the end of the night, and then we won't have any left over. So eggs, 1, 2, 3 eggs, because we always start counting from what on a number line? 0, right? I don't need to worry about negatives when it comes to eggs, right? Same thing with flour. So 3 eggs, and I need how much flour to put into my recipe? Said 1.5 cups, so 1.5. These are cups of flour. And now I can use this number line to continue to measure over if I wanted to make a double batch to make sure that I have enough. How many eggs? 3. And so if I wanted to double it, I would need how much? 6. So another 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry, that takes it up to 6. And then to keep this in proportion, that means I would need how much on the flour?
3.
Yeah, because 1.5 plus another 1.5 is going to get me up to 3, right? How much does each little line represent here on the flour side? Is it 1 cup like it is with the eggs? How much is each little line representing there? 1/2 cup. So this is 1/2 cup. This would then be 1 cup, right? And then 1.5 cups, 2 cups, and then 2.5, and then 3 cups, right? This could be really useful because I don't have 6 eggs. I have 5 eggs. Could I scale my recipe so that it still comes out okay if I only have 5 eggs? How much flour would I need if I only have 5 eggs? 2.5. Because here's 5 eggs, and as long as I can draw a straight line down, that tells me exactly how much flour I would need to keep it in the right mixture amounts. Does that make sense? Okay, this is the kind of idea that you're going to use on Nana's chocolate milk. I'm going to play a video for you. Come on. All right. Dan messed up Nana's chocolate milk. Nana is really picky. She's really, really picky. Nana likes her chocolate milk made with just the right chocolatiness. So here's what he should have done. One cup of milk, 4 scoops of chocolate would get the perfect chocolatiness from Nana.
no. Man, it's gonna kill me.
We need to help Dan fix this. Can you separate out the milk from the chocolate once you've mixed it up? So we can't subtract anything to help him fix it.
Add more milk.
So I want to know precisely how he can fix this so that Nana gets her chocolate milk exactly right. I want you guys to figure out, before he takes this cup of chocolate milk to Nana, how precisely can he fix this?
Oh no. Man, it's gonna kill me.
How can he fix this so that Nana's not upset? I'm going to give you guys about 5 minutes or so. You may work with a partner if you'd like, or you may work on your own. Okay, so this is your partner.
Okay, so we're gonna put the right whatever.
What does this mean?
Letting you go back.
I'll play it again.
But still won't cut.
3 times as much as what?
What is the question?
This is Charlie's, right? Yeah.
Because let's say 4 scoops for one. That means 1/4 for each 1/4 of milk.
Don't his hands get
1/4, 1/4, 1/4. That means 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1/4.
Yeah.
All right, Gian, I'm going to play it one more time. I want to know how Dan can fix this.
How to put a couple of milk.
Just 1 cup of milk?
1/4.
1/4 cup of milk.
That's it.
Is that the only way?
No.
You see how many different ways you can come up with.
So let's say.
This one's speaking today.
But it could be.
So I like what I have here. The only issue
Oh
is
no.
So we're gonna let each of these. I'm coming. So, 2 questions that I want you guys working on right now. How can he fix this? How can he make it the right mix of chocolate and milk so that Nana doesn't get it and it's like, ugh, take that, it's too much chocolate. I don't like that much. And then how many different solutions can you find? I like what you've got so far. Oh, that's Sam, okay.
The other one you need to find how we can.
more milk. Like, you know, if you have more than she. So 2 cups and then that would
She
be,
said, hold on, 3.5 cups of milk. That'd be over.
that'd be 5, no, that would be 9 scoops of chocolate. Alright.
Eight scoops of chocolate. Remember, it's 4 for each cup.
Oh.
Or they put a gallon. She said she wants a gallon of chocolate. That's 64 scoops of chocolate for a gallon. Remember before, like, scoops of cup. 16 cups in a gallon or how many?
Wait, you said 5.
So it's 4, also, so 2 cups of milk and 8 scoops of. Well, what
Mm-hmm.
That's another way to do it. Just give her 2 cups and then 8 scoops.
There. That's another way.
So do we just keep going up?
You
So
can.
Okay.
Is there a way to go down or not?
We can't go underneath 5 scoops because we can't like extract chocolate from this milk, right?
Right. Okay.
It's already been mixed up. We're
So it
kind
doesn't matter about the cup or anything, just about the scoops in the milk?
Oh, like the
Cup?
glass?
Yeah.
Good question.
Do a gallon?
Great question. Okay, so I had a question here. Azenith said, so does the glass not matter here at all? Because I had asked how many different solutions you could find. Was anybody able to come up with any solution at all? What do you got?
2 cups of milk and 8 scoops of chocolate.
Yeah, so how much milk does he have in the glass right now?
1.
He's got 1 cup. So if he added a whole nother cup of milk, he's currently got how many scoops in there? He put 5 in. That was his mistake, right? It was supposed to be 4, but he's got 5. So if he adds a whole nother cup of milk, how many scoops of chocolate should he add to get it just right for Nana?
3.
3 more. So adding another cup of milk, so we have 2 cups total. Here, let me draw this up here. So scoops of chocolate, we've got 0 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 scoops of chocolate is supposed to go to 1 cup of milk, right? He's sitting right here. So if he added 3 more scoops, let's see, this is 0. How much are each of these little lines representing on the cups of milk? 1/4. So we have 1/4. Here we have 2/4, but that reduces down to what? 1/2. And then 3/4. And this is 4/4, but that's the same thing as 1, right? So how much would this be right here? 1 1/4. And then what? 1 1/2. 1 3/4. And 2. So if he adds a whole nother cup of milk, he adds 3 more scoops, he's got it in the correct proportion, right? He gets just the right mix. Is there another option that would give him just the right mix?
You can completely restart and then add in 4 scoops of chocolate and 1 cup.
He could completely restart. Nana might get mad at him for being wasteful then, right? I don't know about you guys, but when my grandmother was still alive, she was raised in the Depression. You don't waste anything. Like, unless it's destroyed beyond repair, you don't throw it out. So, could start all over. He's sitting at 5 scoops. Do you see anything else he could have done to fix it? 3 more scoops and another cup of milk would work, right?
Oh, we could add a fourth.
He could add 1/4 of a cup, because he's got 1 cup in there, right? If he added another 1/4 cup, that would make up for that 1 extra scoop. Okay, so I wanted to establish this because Zenith had a great question. She said, like, we saw the cup he's mixing it in. Like, we're not making a pitcher of chocolate milk. The glass doesn't hold 2 cups. How does that affect these solutions? Do any of the ones that we came up with work? What would still work? Adding 1/4 of a cup? Any other options that would work for us here? Let's look at this. We had 1 and 1/4, and that was for the 5 scoops, right? 5 scoops, add another 1/4, because this makes the perfect cup of milk, or perfect cup of chocolate milk. This would get us to 2, but the cup is not that big. So, like, I can't go any bigger than that. Are there any other options that would work?
You can do 1.5 milk and then 6 chocolate.
Yeah, we could do 1.5 cups of milk. So add 1/2 cup and 1 more scoop of chocolate, right? Anything else that would work and still fit in the cup?
1 and 3/4, 7 scoops of chocolate.
1 3/4, so we could add 3/4 of a cup of milk and 7 scoops of chocolate. Let's see how Dan fixed this. Half a cup of milk. 1 more scoop of chocolate. Fits in the glass. Correct mix of chocolate to milk. Yes. Awesome. That's not the only option for him, but that is one of the ones that we identified that would work, right? All right. I want you guys to continue to think along this idea of proportions. Things that would like give you the right mix, or things that are like equal. These aren't like 1.5 cups of milk and 5 scoops of chocolate. Those aren't equal amounts. But that is like, how do I put this? If I wanted to double my recipe, I would double both things, right? If I wanted to triple my recipe, I would triple both things. Whatever this proportion, whatever this ratio is, as I increase it or decrease it, they would need to change by the same proportion, like multiplying or dividing. All right. I want you guys to get into small groups, 2 or 3 people. I promise you, you do not want to do this on your own. I'm going to give you guys a card with a person's name on it, some information about that person, and then 3 questions. You guys are going to work on this for the remainder of the class period today. And then tomorrow, anybody else that has your same person, you guys will meet together as a group. You'll clarify each other's thinking, see if you guys got the same thing, and then we'll talk about the solutions. You guys put the answers up. If we got really, really stuck on any piece, we'll go over it together, okay? So I'm going to come around the room, you tell me who you want to work with, and then I will give you your card. Give you guys a minute to figure out who you want to work with. You here? Groups of 2 to 3 people. You guys have your group? Work together? All right, you get Bob. You get Bob. I'll be right there.
Wait, so wait.
You gonna work together? Guys, you can do your work on the back side of this paper that had the double number lines on it because it's totally blank back there.
Me, Niles.
Sounds good.
And it spelled just like this. Alright, let's go, guys. Stop. Pace heart rate is 70 beats per minute. The average heart rate. I don't know.
I don't remember. Price gonna go up. There's the good.
You don't want to work on your own. I just, it's too big.
First better find how many minutes or an hour, how many hours, whatever.
Azina, because I'm adding somebody to your group. Oh, and you're going to work with that.
We need to find how many beats in a year, and then how many in 25 years. Different. We can get it. We'll start finding out how many years. It's not that much.
40.
72.
Okay, so it's D.
How many weeks are there?
That's pretty much that, dude.
52? So the year is hard to start trading when it's 739,527. So then we multiply that by 25, and we get 943,000. Well, I don't know how much it is.
How much is twice?
Oh, we already answered this one?
Maybe you should write these down. What's the extra? That's okay.
It says how many hours it's 24 hours.
Because otherwise it's too much.
It is 24 hours, it's 60 minutes.
So then you said Sam was how much?
We're working.
It is 60 times 24.
This is, and then Charlie is 13 more than twice as much. Twice as much.
When you divide that
What would it
by.
be then?
So 52,500 on the copy. Paste that whatever. I don't know, you check anyway. So this how many? Oh my god. Yeah, so that's how many minutes are in a year. Times 72, because it's per minute. Just multiply with 72. 72 beats per minute. Per year. 77 beats times 25, right? Yeah, that's right. Yes.
That's the same, that's pretty much exactly. Oh, this one is not.
946 million.
Okay.
This is what. Yep. This ain't right. So you were right. I'm being 100% though.
But you put it on What did you do?
That's 1 billion. This is a billion.
No, this is more like a pulse.
1 bajillion.
Really?
14 bajillion. I mean 1 billion, my fault.
You said 75 times. Oh,
Like the beats per year.
It's 24 hours a day. How many days per
You ain't know
year?
that, bro. We had to think about it.
How we doing?
No, bro.
At the end of the day.
Oh, I love it. So tell me this, like explain this to me. I like what I'm seeing, I just want you to explain it to me.
That's 60 beats per minute, and then
60 beats per minute, okay.
3,600 beats an hour, and so we just multiply this.
Okay. Yes, right there, thank you. Perfect. Love it. Okay, so down here, we're trying to figure out how many full days, right?
Which is 8.65 days, right?
So, how many full days then?
8 days.
Perfect.
So what about number 3?
So on number 3, you know how you got like 8.65? So like you could say, this is obviously different numbers, but I'm just using this as an example. 8 whole days.
Yeah.
The 0.65 is part of a day, right?
Yeah.
We don't usually measure parts of days though in decimals, do we? We usually measure them in like hours or minutes, right? So how much of a day is 0.65 hours?
Divided by 73. But then that's only how many minutes.
Or here's another way to look at it. I'm looking at number 2 just so I can kind of give you guys a guide, okay? So you said this was 8.65 days, right? How many times would her heart beat in 8 whole days?
We can time it.
Look what I did.
36 times? In 8 days?
Like how many times the heart's gonna beat in 8 days?
Okay, so it's 60 times in a minute, right? 3,600 times in an hour. 86,400 in 24 hours. That's 1 day, right?
Right.
So how would you figure out for 8 days?
We will times it by 8.
Take that times 8.
Times 8. 6,900 something.
Okay.
16.
That's more than that, isn't it?
Yeah.
That must not be 8 days then. What about if we did 7 days?
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness! Look at that.
1 week.
Oh yeah. Okay. So, like when you're doing this, that's what you got for 8 days, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I bet this is going with this one. That's my guess. Okay. So here's 8 days. Take this away from this.
Okay.
Because that's 8 full days worth of heartbeats, right? So let's see what we have left over then. Okay, so you got 56,333. Okay. So there's a couple of hours in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it looks like more than half of this, right?
15 hours.
15 hours. So how many heartbeats in 15 hours? Here, yep, nope, you want to leave that up here because you need to write that down.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna
Yeah,
do it again.
you do that part again. How many heartbeats in 15 hours? If this is how many heartbeats in 1 hour, how many heartbeats in 15 hours?
54,000.
Perfect. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So that's 8 days, and that's why you minus that, because you got this, right? And then, sorry, what was the 15 hours again? 54,000. So then you would take 54,000 away from this, because that would be the 15 hours.
You divide by 72, so that's 72 beats per minute, which I said, that's 72.
That's 2,333.
Okay, so there's still 2,333 beats. This is how many beats in a minute, right? You don't have a whole hour's worth, so take it and... Perfect. So 38, almost 39 minutes. Did that make sense?
A little bit.
Okay, so you started off just by straight up dividing, right? To get this one. Do you guys remember how you divided to get that one?
I did 6.65 times 24 because that's still 1 day. So then that was 15 hours.
Yes. Yes. So the way, because you got real close here with what you were doing and I loved it, see if you can explain to Fabiha kind of how you were thinking through that process. Because, yeah, honestly, the number of minutes you were off by, I would not count you off on that. Like, it was so close. Like, if you're off by 2-3 minutes, you're talking about 8 days worth of heartbeats. 3 minutes, I'm not going to lose sleep over that.
Good question.
Yeah.
I need to hop on number 2.
Tell me how you figured out number 1.
Huh?
Have you guys figured out number 1?
Yes.
Tell me how you got there.
I forgot.
We okay. We did so we
Oh, I love what I'm seeing. Explain this to me. Sorry, I'm looking at all these numbers and I'm interested in them.
oh this
Okay.
isn't for question 1.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Question 2. But, so what was it's 575,000 years. That's
So close.
how many it was.
Especially if you're like a late 90s, early 2000s musical fan. 525,600
Oh my God.
525,000 homes so
I
dear.
never heard that song. That's
525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year?
okay.
Sorry,
No,
get my little musical theater out
I
of
was
me.
singing them the whole time, and it didn't pop to me that that's what we needed.
So I legit didn't know until I was teaching this class that that song was for real.
Truly did that.
Mm.
So yeah, that's how many times it beats in 1 year. I mean,
That's how many minutes in a year.
yeah.
Mhm.
How many minutes in a year, and then times that by 25.
And that gets you how many minutes in 25 years?
I didn't write that down, but
That's
then
okay.
times that by 72.
Love it. I love it. And that's how you got this big number right here?
Yeah.
Fantastic. That reasoning absolutely holds up. Okay, so let's look at the next one.
Okay, it says if all chart beat 600,000
Mm-hmm.
how many full days would have?
How many full days would have elapsed?
Okay.
Okay, so can we figure out just like how many times his heart beats in 1 day?
1,004. That's how many
You
minutes.
said this much? That's how many minutes, or that's
Okay, but here's what I did.
okay?
So what I did was, you know how this is how many times it beats in 1 year?
No, that's minutes in a year.
Minutes?
That's minutes.
Oh, hold on a minute. So could we divide that by 72?
What would dividing it by 72 give you? Like, what would that tell you?
How many it beats in a year?
You would divide it?
Divide this by 72?
I thought you told me you took this. and you timesed it by 25, and then you timesed it by 72.
I'm talking about this question.
I know. But you're talking about using this number, which you used for number
Oh
one.
yeah, because that's how many minutes per year.
How many minutes in a year? Okay, so let's think about this for just a moment. If his heart beats 72 times in 1 minute, how many times does his heart beat in 2 minutes?
100. No, 74.
Nope, you were right the first time. 144.
Oh, yeah.
How would you figure out how many times his heart beats in 5 minutes?
Six.
Tell me how you found that.
Times 72 times.
Perfect. Okay. So that's 5 minutes. How would you figure out how many times his heart beats in 10 minutes?
Oh, I think I know what you're doing. It's supposed to go. I'm supposed to not divide, multiply.
You can. Like, there's ways to do it with division, there's ways to do it with multiplication. I'm just trying to, like, think logically through some of this stuff. Do you want to multiply that? Oh, there we go. That's 10 minutes. If you do this times 72, what will that tell you? That's how many times it beats in a year. Perfect. So let's look at that. It's gonna be huge, right? That's a lot of heartbeats in a year. Is that a whole year's worth of heartbeats? No. Because that's 37 million something, right? No, you're good. You're good. Like, number one is not wrong. So, you know it didn't beat for this many days, right? Maybe we could figure out how many heartbeats there were in just one day. How would we figure out how many times his heart beat in just one day?
So there's 24 hours a day.
24 hours in a day, okay?
So we could do something with number 72.
Mm-hmm.
So per minute, so okay, let's break it down. So 72.
Mm-hmm.
Per minute, right? Okay, so times 60 seconds.
Not seconds, 60 minutes. Okay, so let's write this down so we don't forget what we're doing. Hey guys, 2 things real quick. Write your person's name down on whatever paper you've been writing it, because I'm going to collect these cards so they don't get lost. And then snap a picture of your paper. That way if you accidentally lose your paper, you still have this information, okay? Write the person's name down on the paper, snap a picture of it, because we're going to put the answers up tomorrow, okay? We'll talk about this.